Well, good day, everyone, and welcome to the Tech Chit Chat Show. If you're new here, my name is Ken. You can find me on Northern Viking every day and Northern Viking Explorer on YouTube. I'm here with my co-host, Stephen Loney on YouTube and 8-Bit Warrior on Twitter. Good day, Mr. Stephen. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing okay. How about yourself this morning?
I'm doing really good, thank you. It's garbage day. It's sunny out. It's a good day here.
Got your
Cheers.
coffee? Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Woo. Well, it's always blurry on my end when I
I
have it
know yours refuses to focus, but
focus.
yeah.
We've got a good show for you today. We've got a bunch of stuff we're going to be chatting about here. So let me kind of pull up my list here. We are going to be chatting about Meta and their coming maybe soon to a computer near you, Twitter competitor. Some new AI features coming to Google Docs and Gmail, Discord on your PS5, some Intel Arc price updates, and a new little gadget that turns your speakers into Sonos speakers. And we've got a good question of the day for you as well. So if you're watching on the replay, you can jump ahead to any of those categories. We will be putting timestamps below in the description. Stephen, what happens at 100 subscribers?
Yeah, so at 100 subscribers, we are looking to update our lowly 720p feed here to a full 1080p feed.
Yes.
So we're almost there. We only need a few more subscribers. So if you guys want to help motivate us to flip the switch to 1080p,
yeah.
Feel free to
And
subscribe.
It's literally flipping the switch. I actually had to turn it off for the stream, and you guys are probably all like, you're turning it off and doing lower quality? Well, the deal was 100 subscribers for 1080p. So just if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And you can also watch us on Twitter, Facebook, and you can listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, but those don't count for the stream. So you need to subscribe on YouTube to get us into high def. Any other thoughts? Your weekend was good?
Yeah, I think I had a good weekend. Again, every time you ask me, I can't remember. Somebody else this week asked me, how was your week? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's Tuesday. The weekend's gone. I don't know.
It's Tuesday. The weekend's gone. Yeah.
The weekend is gone. It was good. I'm imagining it was good. How about you?
Oh, it was good. We, my wife and I did a live stream on Saturday morning for our travel stuff. And we went to a travel show on Saturday, looked at some airplanes and different things. And
nice.
Just hung out. So with some friends and stuff. It was a really good weekend. So
yeah, good. Yeah, I managed to catch your travel show a little bit briefly live stream. That was cool.
Yeah,
talk about awesome. Mexico. That was good.
Talking about Mexico, yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Alrighty, well, why don't we just dive right into the nitty-gritty of all this?
Let's go.
If you are watching live, make sure to contribute in the chat. We like bringing your comments into the show as well. And being part of the chat, because we like to drink coffee and talk about tech. We don't claim to know everything, but we just like to share our thoughts. So first topic, Meta is apparently creating a Twitter competitor.
Yeah.
This is kind of interesting. In the kind of dawn of Elon Musk's Twitter, there's, I think, room for some opportunities to compete. I'm still using the regular old Twitter, and have been happy with it. But there's clearly corporations are thinking there's room for competitors, Mastodon, and then now it sounds like Meta is working on their own competitor. You want to dive into this, Stephen?
Yeah. So it's still early to know. Like, apparently, it is being worked on. It's called P92 internally. And it seems that it will be using a similar backend to what Mastodon is using. I forget what it's called, but it's supposed to be like more a decentralized kind of form of like Twitter. So right now, Twitter is centralized. You have this monolithic governing body where this idea would be like more, I think, up to people to manage and maintain stuff. Yeah, so I haven't used Mastodon and other competitors. I've only been using Twitter, so I can't even really, on a practical level, I don't know.
Yeah, for myself, the same thing. I haven't tried any other ones. So apparently, from what I'm seeing here, this is supposed to be based don't want to call it Instagram platform, but you could use your
Right.
same accounts as Instagram. Um, it's totally separate, but if you already have Instagram accounts, that you're supposed to be able to use that to log in. Um, and there
Right.
a lot revealed in it, whether you're able to follow people. I'm assuming you'd be able to follow people, but how that's going to work. But you're supposed to be able to, again, share. It's text based where you can share photos, videos, that sort of thing. So very similar
Yeah.
to Twitter. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's I think it's a good thing. Um, I I mean, even though I use Twitter, there's certain things I don't love about it. I won't lie.
Right.
So, but then that being said, I don't actually like the fact. I guess what I don't like, I don't like all the new fees they've implemented on Twitter. If you want to, whatever, be verified and all these things, I don't know what the exact things of it are, and are they going to be doing the same thing here as well? Or is that why they're doing this, because they see an opportunity that they can charge monthly fees?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes. I've heard different timelines, so they don't know if this is in the near future or a couple of years away, uh,
Right.
from different sources. So not like, when I say different sources, no insiders, just kind of articles I've been reading. But um, it'll be, it could be a couple of years away before you even see this, or even if it happens at all. But it's something they're working on for sure.
Yeah. Now, it does sound interesting that to be more decentralized. Because I'm thinking of, like, we'll talk about this later, but bringing up Discord. But when
Mhm.
you have chat programs like Discord, does that count as decentralized? Because I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what it means. Does it mean, because for example, the communities in Discord are all self-managed. I can't go get a Discord admin to come in and moderate my chat or whatever.
That's
Um,
true. Yeah.
everything. So is that what it means here by decentralized? Are things
Well,
going to be
from my understanding, it sounds like you can. I don't want to say host your own server, but you can set your own rules
right?
what for your area.
Right.
Um, so yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, some people might have a really locked down area, and let's just use the example of like cursing in it. Maybe um, one area cursing would be allowed, and another one it might not be allowed.
Right.
So depending on, and it could be on similar topics. You might have like a sporting, like follow a specific sports team, and
Mhm.
one of them allows cursing and one of them is clean, so it's family friendly type of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how far that'll go. I think there should be clearly some rules of how deep you could go with that,
Yeah.
because there's
Yeah.
clearly things that should be off limits.
Criminal law and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Kind of.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So um,
But on that note, it seems like kind of an important thing, because then a company like Meta doesn't have to be as liable for everything going on. The responsibility gets pushed onto um, those
yeah,
who are facilitating, who are setting up those rules. It should fall
yeah,
back on them. Where right now Twitter is kind of like monolithically kind of responsible because they're seeing everything.
yeah. It would be kind
So
of like, is Google responsible if I commit a crime with Gmail?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
no, they
yeah,
wouldn't be.
yeah.
I'm still responsible if I were to commit a crime using Gmail.
Right. Is
So
the knife maker responsible for the crime if someone uses his knife for
yeah, yeah,
stabbing somebody? No.
yeah, yeah. So
So
yeah, we'll see what comes up with that, and I'm sure down the road, if we hear more news, we can bring it up on this show as well.
mhm.
Let's dive over to our next topic. So there's been a lot of AI stuff coming out lately. I'm sure you're hearing about it everywhere, and you probably already know about Google is working on their stuff to bring it into the works as well, to compete with what Microsoft's doing and the whole Chat GPT thing. And so there's been an announcement about some of the Google features that are going to be coming. And there's a good article here from The Verge talking about some of those features. So there's going to be integration with Gmail, with Google Docs, and more, bringing the AI features in there. And some of the examples that they're showing are pretty neat. So within Google Docs, you'd be able to maybe have your notes in there and say, summarize this in a paragraph for me,
Right.
or um, if you're into, there's actually, it was a video I was watching here. It's talking about, if you're a business owner, it says, write me a I guess a job ad for this position with these requirements type of thing. So I can see where this would be really handy. Um, I prefer I prefer not to let it do all the work for us. I prefer us to
Yeah.
actually have input if I'm going to be using this sort of a topic. So and what I mean by that is I write a paragraph and then I ask it to write it better, like it to help your grammar or different things like that. Um, I mean, I could be wrong. My opinions might differ from a lot of people, but I prefer to have input of what it's,
Yeah.
rather than go out and write me this paragraph.
Yeah.
Um, Here's the
I
topic and what I want in it. Write me a good paragraph.
I find it concerning. So I'm biased. I mean, but is my bias right here? I don't know. So I'm looking at this, and one example they give is, okay, write me a resume for this position.
Hmm.
I don't like this feature because now I actually can't trust the resumes of who I'm getting from people. I want to know that you made it. I want to know
Yeah,
you're competent and didn't have an AI. So as someone who is hiring, I might actually request. I actually want you to come in person, and we're
yeah,
not even use the resume anymore. You're gonna tell me about yourself. We're just gonna get
yeah.
back to, because I can't even trust these letters to know who.
Well,
Um,
make me a video of yourself. That's how you apply.
right.
Um, Tell me about
Like,
yourself in a video format, because now it's so simple for anyone to do that with their phone or whatever. Um,
yeah,
so, I mean, I understand if you take your resume and say, rewrite my resume, my um, career objective to for this position, like, but I don't know. I feel like if you get into AI and everything's going to look exactly the same.
imagine a future where every email, document, everything is just AI generated, and everyone's just sitting back, drinking coffee, going, "Yep, yep, okay." And it's
Yeah,
just this
because
beautiful world,
it
and
becomes
then
generic. There's no mistakes. There's nothing to.
you get this email. It's AI generated. It's beautiful. This great document, and you have your AI program saying, "Please make a summary for me in 5 points."
Yeah,
So I just put so the guy who put his 5 points in and makes this beautiful thing. The guy just does the inverse and
yeah.
has it back to, I don't have time to read. Give me the 5 points. This is
So,
not a nice feature, in my
and
opinion.
I think what we're saying, nothing against Google. All the companies seem to be doing this. We're talking more about AI in general when we say
Yeah.
that. Um, I guess the whole purpose of this was that what you're seeing from Microsoft and stuff, you're going to have very similar stuff in your Google features already built in, coming soon to a Google Drive near you.
Which we use. So
Yes, yeah. So um, yeah. Any other thoughts on that? I don't know. It's some of the key ones that it came up with were um, draft and reply, summarize, prioritize your Gmail, brainstorming, proofreading, writing, rewriting docs, auto-generated images, audio and slides, and a few others, backgrounds for to capture notes and Meet, different things like that. So quite a bit in there.
yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, can we use it to generate our whole scripts and everything? Not that we use scripts, but
You don't think this whole thing's scripted? We're
yeah,
all we're reading the whole time.
yeah, right. We just AI generated, and we're just gonna, no, no.
I'm
We have too
actually
many
sleeping
mistakes.
right now. This was just AI generation of me.
Yeah, yeah, right. Okay.
Alrighty. Well, we'll see where that goes.
Hmm.
Our next topic: Discord voice chat launches on Sony's PlayStation 5.
Yeah, we could
Yeah,
have used this years ago.
we could have used this years ago,
Yeah, but Discord
but
wasn't around.
we use Skype.
We used Skype.
So now if you have a PlayStation 5, you can use Discord chat in it. And you basically have your phone and you go through the whole connection thing and you can use voice chat from Discord, which is really handy feature. Um, Especially now since there's so much cross-platform gaming as well.
Hmm.
Kind of nice to have. So
Yeah,
um,
it makes sense.
yeah,
I mean, it's, again, back in the we mentioned this briefly in a previous episode, but I remember having Skype on my PSP. It was officially supported, and I don't know that it ever made it to the PS3, but for some reason it was on the PSP. But back in the day, we definitely used Skype, third party tool
yeah.
for our chatting and games.
So maybe I should clarify. Yoshi's asking, does PS5 even have Skype? No, we actually had a separate computer next to us using Skype.
Yeah,
So
but my PSP did have Skype
oh, okay, yeah,
back in the day. Like the actual, it was actually officially supported.
yeah.
Probably
So
couldn't use it now, but um,
so when we play PlayStation 3 and 4, we just have our computer next to us with Skype on.
yeah,
So we'd have
I,
private chat.
I think that was PS2 and PS3.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
PS2 and PS3.
yeah,
Um,
we would play
so
SOCOM, and
yeah,
then
SOCOM back in the day on the PS2, we would use, and that I know there was voice chat in SOCOM, but it would broadcast to everybody. So we were more tactical with a private chat.
yeah, and a Battlefield. That's what we used. I
Yeah,
think we used Skype in Battlefield as well.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So um,
I know a lot of gamers stuff use Discord. Like this is kind of the standard now for
mhm,
chat, and I think it's even crossing over into business Discord as well. So it's kind of a no brainer to have on gaming platforms.
yeah, I uh,
Yeah.
I think it's a cool feature, and it's about. I don't want to say it's about time. It is kind of about time that it comes on there. I surprised it actually took so long because I believe we actually talked about the relationship with Sony and Discord like probably well over a year ago on our show here. So
Oh, okay.
um, yeah, so long ago you don't even remember. So
Nope. Well, the one thing I wanted to think about, because like the PS5 has its own generic chat voice chat thing, right? I'm
Mhm.
assuming I don't have a PS5,
I
but
think so.
so what I had wanted to know is like, I don't think this is the case, but could the Discord and the PS5 kind of bleed into each other? But I don't. I think you have to be into a dedicated Discord um, application. I'm guessing for the PS5.
Yeah.
So, but off the cuff, I'm like, did they mix the two platforms so you can be in a PS5 chat room and then the Discord could pop in? But I don't believe that's the case. Just in case there's any confusion, as far as I'm
Mhm.
aware, that's not what's going on. But that would be like a 2.0 kind of like integration there if they ever did that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they
Y-
will.
Yeah. My thought would be, where I thought this would go is you're totally kiboshing any just whatever PlayStation chat and replacing
Yeah.
it with a Discord type of um,
And
unit or software on there, which might be the next step.
they maybe could just kibosh the whole
Yeah.
internal Sony chat. I would imagine a lot of people would just not even use that and just go to Discord.
Yeah.
Might
Yeah.
be
Especially if it
interesting.
allows you to, you know, play games like if you're playing one game that you can chat with someone else playing another game. And I know that's possible, but what people want to make sure they can, either chat within a game or
Yeah.
chat with your friends. So
And this makes sense as the games are becoming more cross-platform. So your buddy could
mhm.
be on PC or on an Xbox,
Yeah.
and
Well, I
so you're
was
just
playing
using
Battlefield last night a little bit, and in my squad, two of us were on PC and two were on PlayStation.
right. So if you
So
guys were buddies, you would probably use Discord as your chat program and not the internal PlayStation or whatever. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, so it allows you to do that sort of thing.
yeah,
We'll see where that goes.
yep.
Alrighty. Our next topic: Intel Arc prices are slashed. Um, this is actually I'm going to start out by saying I've got an Intel Arc A770, and I've been quite impressed with it. Not hmm, since the most recent driver updates, we'll put it that way.
Right.
For gaming, it's actually been surprisingly nice and powerful for what I paid for it. And now the prices are even kind of coming down more. Now I have the 16 gigabyte version. I don't know. I think a lot of manufacturers are starting to lower their prices on them, and you can actually get some pretty good deals on the Intel Arcs.
Yeah.
Let me bring this up here. So this is, uh, I never know how to pronounce their name. Is it ASRock or ASRock? I think
We're
I
gonna go
ask
with
you
it.
this
We're
every
gonna go
time we
with
bring
ASRock.
ASRock. Okay. ASRock, ASRock, whatever you want to call them, has cut prices on many of their Intel Arc graphics cards. And they're saying so low that you might actually want one. um, so they've cut not the 16 gigabyte version that remains at the 349 US, but the 8 gig version they dropped to 270, I believe,
Yeah, from 320.
from 320, and
Yeah.
then the 750 dropped from 290 to 240 for the 8 gig, I believe.
Yeah.
Anyway, they've dropped kind of the $30-40 for the different ones.
Yeah.
And even the A380, just a really entry level card, down to 120.
Yeah.
So some really good deals there on those cards. And with the most recent driver updates, it's been performing really well.
Yeah. That's what you had done like a heaven benchmark on it, and you said you'd
Mhm.
run it before and it wasn't that great, and then you did it again later, and it was like actually faster, quite a bit faster than your 3060 for that test.
Significantly faster than the 3060, yeah. So
Yeah.
with the heaven benchmark, so
Yeah.
yeah, I think they're a good value. You don't get all the bells and whistles that you would with an Nvidia card with all
Mm.
the RTX voice and all that, but there are, there's still a fair bit of features in there, but you don't get quite as many as, of course, Nvidia. But
Mm-hmm.
every update there seems to be more things coming out and more features. Um,
Yeah.
so I definitely think it's good value, especially if you're building a budget gaming PC.
Yeah.
It might be something to look at.
Yeah. This is not a good budget option if you're coming from an older PC. This is a good fit for like a new modern that has like the new I'm forgetting that direct memory access or something like that.
I think if you're trying to build, like, get as much performance as you can for, say, $1,000 US for a
You know,
build, this would be a really good option.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like if you're doing a $2,500 build, maybe it's not necessarily what you'd be going after, but um, I think if you want something that's going to be able to play games and probably for quite a while,
Yeah.
it's a good option because you do need a more recent CPU for this to work as well within the last
Yeah.
couple of years.
Because I was considering being like, oh, I wonder if I should pick one up, but I have like aged hardware that's still fast,
Mhm.
but it just wouldn't be the right fit for the. I don't have the modern motherboard and stuff to take advantage of the features there.
Yeah.
But on, yeah, it's actually seemed, yeah, again with those recent updates, you have seen good performance.
Mhm.
You were saying that you were using it yesterday for some Battlefield. Were you playing it with it
Yeah,
yesterday?
I was testing out yesterday with some Battlefield, and
Yeah.
I turned the settings up to high, and it just ran really quite smooth. So um,
And
on
yeah,
that was 1080p,
yeah,
1080p, but still, it ran quite
yeah.
smooth.
This seems good because I know that GPU prices have gotten higher over the years. Like
Mhm.
the tiers seem to have gotten beyond. Like back in the day, you can get like a 1060 for a reasonable price,
Yeah.
GTX 1060, and now that
Meanwhile, I just bought one of those
did you? Oh yeah, you
when I
did.
was visiting you. Yeah.
Yeah, they still work well. They're still good.
Oh, it
Um,
works great. I actually put it in an old PC, and it
yeah,
works great.
yeah.
Paid $100 for it, and yeah.
Well, yeah, you paid $100 for it, and that thing, I think that was 329 US when it first came out, the 6 gig
Okay.
model.
Yeah, and I paid
Um,
100 Canadian, which is the
yeah,
equivalent of like $75.
oh,
So
that's
US.
such a good
So
price for that. That's such a
yeah.
good. Um, but that range of cards seem to have gone up in the last number of years here. So it seems like it's nice with the Intel stuff going on, and AMD as well seems to be bringing the prices back down for those reasonable. This Intel A750 seems to be hitting that GTX 1066 gig kind of tier, kind of around there, bringing it back to that level for that kind of gamer that doesn't need the super high-end cards, but they want to be able to play at 1080p high and all that.
Yeah.
Maybe some 1440p. So seems like a healthy thing for the market.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Back on that 1060, it's kind of funny because it was an old PC that I put it in, and I just figured I had a 3060 in there, and it was just overkill for what it was. So
yeah. The 1060 is a better fit.
Yeah.
Yoshi was saying 1080p high refresh rate. I think that's where your card in your computer was probably good for it last night. You're only doing 1080p, but is your monitor high refresh rate? I think you're running 75.
I think it's just a 75 hertz display.
Yeah, so but that's where you could probably run games like 120 frames plus, a lot of them and stuff, which is again that card could probably handle. So
yeah. So so it's I've been happy with them, and now that the prices are low, they might be something. I think a lot of people are picking them up. I did see somewhere that their sales numbers were really close to AMD's, if not overtaking them.
Oh, really?
But I don't have an article on that, so don't quote me on that. But their sales numbers were really quite high, and I don't know if that was just over the first or the last couple of months or what it was, but we'll have to look into that a little bit more.
Well, it looks like we have a third player in the game, and it looks like they'll be sticking around for a while. So
and I think that's really good. I think to just keep the prices reasonable is important. So for sure. All right, let's jump into the this other topic. It's kind of a cool one. If you have some old speakers, those big speakers, or even little speakers kicking around your house, but they're high quality, and you want to turn them into kind of wireless speakers, you can now buy something called the WiiM. Okay, I'm totally gonna butcher WiiM. It's not by Nintendo.
Or is it WiiMs? Is it WiiMs or is it WiiMs?
I don't know. That's a good question. That will turn it into a Sonos device. So it's
a Sonos-like device, I should say.
Sonos-like device, but it's basically, you can see the little box here. It's got LAN, or it's wireless, line in, line out, coaxial out, audio or optical in and out. So and it's got a microphone, so you can talk to it as well and give it directions with Alexa, Google, and Siri as well.
Right.
So kind of a cool little thing, especially if you have some high-end audio equipment that you want just to be modern. It kind of reminds me of the Chromecast of audio.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
So and they're fairly, compared to competition, they're $149 US, I believe. So
apparently it's quite a step up to the next tier of other companies. What they're putting out is I don't remember what it was, but $500 or something or more.
Yeah.
To do similar stuff.
So they're calling it a high-res audio streaming product. So it's not a low-quality thing. It's actually a high-quality thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, that's cool. So apparently, so you can use it with Spotify and some other things. But the one downside was, if you are an Apple user, like an iPhone user, you won't be able to directly use the Apple Music stuff. You'll have to use the Air to Play or something. So you won't get high res if you're streaming through the Apple Audio. That's the one downside. But if you're if you're using other platforms, you get the high streaming quality.
So with their WiiM Pro app, you can use Spotify, Tidal. I don't even know how to say this one. Qobuz, Amazon Music, Unlimited, Pandora, Deezer, TuneIn Radio, and more.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of half of these.
I use TuneIn Radio quite a bit.
Okay.
Just for listening to radio live through my phone.
Yeah.
And I think they might do podcasts as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but
So this is cool. I mean, I like the interface they have. I like that you could hook this up to it. If you have like these really awesome speakers from the 80s that just has this really nice sound, you could turn that into, you can incorporate that into your wireless system. Like our friend Cody, who listens in sometimes here. If you're out there, Cody, hey, he has these really cool like speakers that are older, but they have this really warm. They're old, but they have this wonderful warm sound. He'll attach them to like his record player, and it's so nice. I would if you could attach that. Yay, Cody! Yeah, so he has these awesome speakers. They have this really nice, rich, like 80s tech sound to them, and I think it'd be great to hook up something like this to that kind of speaker and just turn it into that for an affordable price. Especially if you're someone who's like into appreciating music, this is not too much. If you're someone who's a casual listener, $150 might still be like, why would I do that? But for those who care about their audio setup, and also that these they do, what would you call it? Not daisy chaining, but you can like connect them to other ones.
Yeah, throughout your house, like kind of like a mesh system for audio.
Yeah.
So
no, this is great.
I like Yoshi's comment. He says I use CDs. I'm with you, Yoshi. If there was still CDs, I would still buy them. Like if you could actually buy everything on CD easily. I like CDs.
Some of us like vinyls. I don't actually have them.
You know what? So I just saw yesterday. Hi, Thomas. Thanks for joining us from school. I just saw yesterday that vinyl just surpassed CDs in sales.
That makes me happy. Okay, this is a side note. Can we go here for a moment?
Sure.
You know how there's a Willow Video here. There's like an actual rental store where I live. There still exists a rental store, and it's not a gimmick. It still exists. It's called Willow Video. Shout out to Willow Video.
Yes.
And they have survived all the way from the 80s, and they're still here, and it seems they're still thriving. They have survived the digital era, and it seems like they might survive going back to physical format.
Yeah.
With everything becoming like, now you have to get Disney Plus and Netflix and Amazon and this to get all of the stuff.
Yeah.
This store that could have died may see a return to physical media being the preferred choice for a lot of people, and they're still around. So I'm wondering if
I've said this for years that if I have the option, I will buy a hard copy of a video game. Even if I have the option and I want to buy a movie, I'll go buy the Blu-ray combo pack that has the digital code in it.
Yeah.
If it's the option, like if I'm actually going to spend the money on it, those are things I would do just so I have the hard copy.
Yeah.
Even if I only use the digital code, it's basically commonly for the Blu-ray combo pack with the digital code, it was the same price as just buying the digital code.
Right. So, and then no matter what happens with the online stuff, you retain your physical copy.
Yeah. A couple of comments here. Yoshi saying his Walmart CD selection is pitiful, or pitiful, and I would agree. It's not very good at Walmart for CDs or anywhere. Maybe, I don't know. We have one of those. There's still a CD record store in our mall. I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's mostly T-shirts and like games and things now. Like half of it's other stuff to stay alive, but a lot of records in there. And what was I going to say? Thomas is saying VHS, and there has been a resurgence in VHS. Thomas is saying that store is called Sunrise Records in the mall, but VHS, like if you've been to Value Village, like people are like searching for VHS and collecting them again. And even if you go on eBay, like used VCRs are expensive.
Yeah,
especially if you get like a name brand like a Sony or something like that, they can be pricey.
You're saying this ancient technology?
Yeah, right there. Isn't that fun? You have something physical. It's not all in the.
This is. Can I read this for you?
Sure.
Interview number 1: young married couple first meeting. Savage in action. This is no context. This is like, what is that?
Oh, you know what? You know what, Stephen? I think your
Uh,
dad might have been looking for that VHS.
yeah, that's why I have it. I was making recordings of it. It's old. For context, it's old business VHS training from this
I'm
guy.
pretty sure I've watched that that video.
So anyway,
Yeah,
that's what that's why that's why I have a VHS player in here. I was making backups for that. It's
yeah.
from like the 80s, early 90s.
Okay,
So
I'm
yeah,
glad you found it. That's good
we
to know.
found it. Yeah, the Savage business tapes.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It makes me really happy inside that hard copy media is coming back or
yes,
is making a resurgence because I just feel like houses have been so. We need a shelf full of video games and movies, and it's like a
stuff.
little library. Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah,
um, I, I don't know. It's just something. Otherwise, I don't know. Books too.
yeah.
Like I think books should make a comeback.
They're still
I
there. There's still
no, but
books.
they are. But so many people read online, and I get it. You can get them from your library for free or whatever, like digital versions on your phone. But I don't know. There's just something about a bookshelf and having movies and
A
stuff on it.
physical copy.
Yeah, yeah. So awesome. Well, should we dive into our question of the day?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Before we do that, again, if you haven't subscribed already, we really want to give our beautiful faces to you in high definition. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you've made it this far, you might as well subscribe. So um,
Might as well.
you may as well.
Yeah.
So our question of the day is a little bit is totally off topic. Nothing that we've talked about today. So um, it is, what is the best multiplayer first person map of all time? And I think this is going to be a little bit generational as well. Um, like some of you are going to be like, wow, just, I'm just going to say it's Fortnite. And I don't even want to call that I don't even know. That's not first person shooter. It kind of is, but um, I don't want to hear that.
Fortnite. Where are we
Fortnite.
dropping?
um, so this is actually a poll put out by NVIDIA asked this question today. Um, what's the best multiplayer first person map of all time? The first reply that I'm seeing, I actually like this one as an option. Um, I don't remember what it's called. Oh, High Rise
Yeah.
for Call of Duty. I do like that one. And we were talking about this a little bit earlier. Maps that kind of force the battle in a good way.
Yeah.
I don't know how
So here
you.
they call this a 3-lane map. So I guess that's something we've talked about in the past, but I never knew there was an official term, and this is an official term.
Mm-hmm.
A 3-lane map where it's not just a head-on like direct, but you have multiple like main choices to make. Like I guess 3-lane meaning you have 3 main choices up the center or left or right. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Thomas, not Fortnite map. No. So back in the day, one that we really enjoyed was from Call of Duty 3 called Eater Dam.
Yes.
And it was like a 3-lane map where you could go up the center, to the left or right, but the center lane was actually a bridge that you can go on top of, in between, or down below. So, and I just
Mm-hmm.
remember that being allowing so much like variety,
Yeah.
while having like really intense stuff happening, but you can then kind of sneak around. And so maybe that's
Yeah.
what they mean by 3-lane. Maybe that's an official term that they use, but I don't know.
Um, yeah, I think about maps that have like they kind of funnel you in directions, and you might see this
Yeah.
in other like city maps as well, where especially in like the older Call of Duties where there's a multiple lanes. Just
So if you scroll down to give a contrast to that, you should see like the Blood Gulch from I almost said Minecraft, not Minecraft. What am I? Halo, another Microsoft. Sorry, definitely not Minecraft. That would be more like direct. Like there is kind of a side you can go kind of like
yeah.
through the cavern, but that's more like direct. You have to
See
go
that to me, those aren't my favorite maps because they're too open. I like
right.
hills that you can kind of hide in and nooks and crannies and trees. Like that one seems too
And
open.
there's a classic Quake map, I think, which is again direct. Um, so And there's team.
Uh,
Yeah.
Anyway, so from my point of view, and I wrote down a few of them. I just want to bring up Cody's first, and I would agree. This is one of the ones I was actually thinking of.
Oh,
Um, or am I thinking of 1943?
you're thinking 1943.
Um, but I would agree. Like um, some of the older maps from those Battlefield ones. I really like the beach one in 1943 where there's a mountain on the one end,
Yeah.
and it's narrow. It's there. You can make your way through, like you're not directed, but it was just a really well designed map.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but some of the Call of Duty ones I was thinking of, Crossfire, is kind of a street map in Modern Warfare, the older Modern Warfare, and there's Crash as well, which is a helicopter map. I really like those ones. And for we were talking about Battlefield Bad Company 2, Harvest Day is one of my all-time favorite maps. Um, just big open, but lots of hills and trees and barns that you can hide in and different things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So let's see what else we've got here. What are some of your favorites there, Stephen?
Some of my favorites. I felt like the early Call of Duty 4. I felt had really good maps back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty 3 we played. I'm trying to think what would be. Those stand out to me. The Bad Company maps I really liked as well. Battlefield Bad Company. Yeah, there was one called Ascension in
Oh yes,
Bad Company 2, was it?
I think so. Yeah,
And there was the crate rush mode, and it would lead
yeah,
you through a village and then up progressively into like a cathedral or something like that. I can't remember, castle top. That was one of my favorite. And
yeah.
yeah.
So there's another game I want to bring up, and this is totally off the board. You'll be like, "Oh, I forgot about that." Rainbow Six Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Um, some of those, and the game was full of glitches, but some of those casino maps were really good. And then there was one, and I think this was in many of the Rainbow Sixes, Kill House.
Yeah, but there's one better than that. There is a map called Streets in Rainbow Six games called. I was just talking to my brother Daniel about that, and we think there's a map called Streets. It's very, anyways,
Yeah,
hard to describe. Anyway, yeah, I forgot about Rainbow Six.
yeah. So we've got Thomas has a lot of good ones here. Um, so GoldenEye Facility. I forgot about GoldenEye. That's kind of
There's
a
GoldenEye.
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say their maps are great though.
No,
I don't think they were great. They were okay, like they were fine, but
I do like the older Call of Duty maps better than the current ones. I find um, the current. I don't know. I think maybe it was a novelty of when those games came out, and there wasn't
yeah,
as much of it. But I feel like they were a little bit bigger earlier, and some of the newer maps I found too small over the last few years. That
yeah,
I like them, but not oversized either. So
yeah. Unless it's Battlefield.
yeah, but then you're commonly adding more players, so it works.
What? Yeah. What about Tony Hawk cruise ship? Tony Hawk 3 cruise ship.
Well, I don't know if that's a first-person shooter, but the maps on Tony Hawk 3 were amazing.
A fun person skater. How about that? How about we
Yeah,
just
a fun person skater. I like it. Corgi Cove, MMO.
Corey Cove MMO. Okay, so that's
If we're just
not.
including everything now.
Our standards have loosened.
um,
No.
are we gonna? Nobody likes Rio and Tony Hawk. So are we gonna move into Mario next?
No.
Super Mario 3.
I'm trying to look through, see other people's suggestions. There is Counter Strike. Counter Strike has some pretty staple maps, like Dust. It's been there for
Okay.
a long time. And see here what else. Yeah, no, it's a good topic because map design is not a little thing. This is something that could really have a big. It's important.
And next week we're going to be talking about our favorite tracks for racing. Honestly, I like the original MotorStorm tracks.
Yeah, let's just. Yeah,
we'll stop there.
Yeah, we should just do a video on that sometime. We could just do that.
MotorStorm. We'll just live stream MotorStorm. Yeah. So, all right. We'll stop it there. That was kind of a fun topic. I enjoy reminiscing about those days. So.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on today's topics there, Stephen?
Well, again, we're close to our subscriber goal here, so if you'd like to subscribe and support us that way to encourage us to toggle the switch to 1080p, you can do that. But yeah, we're looking to continue, hopefully keep this going on a consistent basis, and not much to add other than that today.
I think we've exhausted all our thoughts, so I guess we'll wind it down there. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Remember to hit the subscribe button here on YouTube or your favorite platform. And until next time, this has been the Tech Chit Chat Show. Have a wonderful week and take care. Bye-bye.